Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 8th episode of the RWBY podcast. I'm your host, Knight, and with me today, I have Jal. Jal? How do I pronounce it?
It's Jellal, as
J-
in Jalal Fernandez of Fairy Tale. I'm a fairy
yeah,
tale fan.
Jal. And formerly, this guy was known by Joe. Now he's Jal. I'll figure out how to pronounce it someday. But
Yep.
anyway, today we are going to be talking about RWBY Volume 6, Chapter 11, The Lady... What's it? Hang on.
Lady
The
in the Shoe.
Yeah, the lady in the shoe. Uh, that title really doesn't mean anything, I don't think. But before I give you the summary of what happens in that episode, I want to say thank you to everyone who's liked and has followed us on Ruby Amino, and it's everyone who has subscribed and viewed our videos on the channel. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, as a small coming YouTube channel group, we really do love these things, and we love doing stuff for you guys. So keep it coming, guys. Keep it
Yeah,
coming.
keep it coming. Anyway, that being said, I will give the summary. So we begin with as we had in the last episode, the mech, which appears. It begins with Ruby telling Weiss, who's in the ship, to bring the ship down because she needs Weiss on the ground to fight the mech. Cordovan tries to shoot a missile at the ship, but Ruby shoots that missile with her sniper rifle.
It's also a gun.
It's also a gun, yes. Cordovan tries to shoot a charged ice shot at the ship, but Weiss comes out of the ship and blocks it with the ground, like raises the ground like it's a shield. John comes up with a plan to divert the mech's fire because he knows that the mech can't handle multiple targets. Because he thinks it's meant for like big aquatic grim or something like that, like the ones we've seen in Volume 4. Those big
Yeah,
grim.
yeah, the sea dragon grim that
Yeah, Sea
like
Dragon, that's it.
sunset.
That's it. So Ren, Nora, and John go to the left on the ground to draw its fire, while the ship goes up to the right, as well as Crow follows in his bird form, and Ruby just goes up and fires around at the ship.
Yeah, I was gonna say we finally get to see Crow use magic again.
Yeah, we do. Ruby then lands on a tree, and Cordovan shoots a missile directly at Ruby, who then dodges. She lands in the water, which Weiss froze for her to jump onto some ice platforms to reach the mech. Junior then distracts the mech by shooting it, but then Cordovan realizes that the mech has what they say, dust light hard shield, something like that,
Yeah, something along those
like
lines.
dust light shields. So that changes the focus on finding a way to shut those shields down. Crow turns into a bird and tries to get up close and personal on the mech. He gets on and tells everyone else that they have to attack it close up and personal. Weiss uses her weapon to trip the mech, which reveals the shield joiner panel to Oscar. The mech shoots a bunch of missiles at Weiss and Ruby, and then Ruby and Weiss dodge and go onto a Lancer that Weiss created. Ren gets on the mech and finds the shield generator panel, and him and Crow proceed to open it and disable the generator. Then they jump onto the Lancer. Nora fires at the mech, but then it starts to try and punch her. John rushes in and ups her aura so the hit wouldn't damage her more. They both get their aura drained. The mech shoots the Lancer, causing everyone to fall onto the cliff. Ruby doesn't make it and barely makes it and catches on the cliff with her scythe. The mech aims its cannon at Ruby. Maria shoots a missile from the ship at the mech. The mech catches and throws backs at the ship. Then it cuts to Adam and Blake fighting. They are sword fighting. Blake tries to run away. Adam says, "Can you do anything besides run?" Adam slashes Blake's coat off her. They end up at a waterfall. They fight. Adam knocks her down with the hilt of his sword. Blake tries to fight Adam. Adam he knocks her down again. Adam says, "You're a coward." Blake says, "You're delusional." Adam breaks Blake's weapon, and then Adam takes his blindfold off, revealing he has blue eyes, and one of them has been burned by the Schnee Dust Company with an SDC mark on his eye. Blake hears Yang's motorcycle. Adam then stabs her, but she escapes with a shadow clone. Yang then throws her motorcycle off a cliff at Adam. They fight. Blake tells Yang that Adam is like Yang's, only he absorbs the attacks into his sword. Adam sends a blast at Yang like he did in Volume 3, only Yang blocks it with a robot arm. Yang sensed to leave us alone. This is your last chance. And but then Yang's left arm begins shaking. Adam says, "Do you really believe that? Or are you just trying to scare me away so you won't have to die trying to protect her?" Blake gets up and says, "She's not protecting me, Adam, and I'm not protecting her. We're protecting each other." Did I miss anything, Jal?
No, but think you got everything. Yeah, you got everything.
Got everything. So what's the first thing you want to talk about?
Well, one of the first things I want to talk about, something I found essentially with that scene where Yang crashes the party. If you guys think about it, she sacrificed Bumblebee to save Bumblebee. If you guys get me,
Yeah,
you get Knight. You get me?
I get you.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of ships on RWBY. There's the Bumblebee ship for Yang and Blake. There's Black Sun for Blake and Sun. There's 100 those kind of ships. I know in the last video, Goldstar mentioned how he was neutral about that kind of thing. What do you feel about it, Knight?
I'm a for Bumblebee. And what about you?
Yep, same here. I honestly, something about it like just seems right. It could be just like because the whatchamacallit, the care they kind of show for each other and the amount of heart they show toward protecting each other, and kind of shows the love between the two of them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's like just I don't know. It's like all the things they've been through and kind of the lengths they've gone to make sure the other. Especially how affected Yang was in Volume 5 by Blake leaving.
Yeah, but like Volume 3 and 4, and then how Blake came back and everything like that.
Yep, and then they played the most beautiful song in the history of RWBY.
During the fight?
No. At the end of Volume 5, All That Matters.
Oh, yeah, all that matters.
I love that song so much.
I loved in that, the Atom, when Yang got there was a, in the background you could hear Armed and Ready. I thought that was great. What?
I actually didn't notice that, in all honesty. Like, I always find when I watch people like Arnold for Murder of Birds or something like that, I always find like I do hear the music in the background, and sometimes I recognize it, but more often than not, people will say like, "Oh, that's something else." Like, what was the episode where Oscar ran away?
I don't. Dead End, I think it was.
I think it was Dead. I just remember like when Maria and RWBY were talking to each other, I heard "This Will Be the Day" in the background.
Yeah, me too.
And a bunch of other reaction guys I've seen, they say they see something else. So I don't know if it is like maybe that isn't the song I heard, maybe something else.
I think it was a combination of something with "This Will Be the Day," and then like when they got to Argus, as I think we mentioned before, when they see Argus, there was playing. It was an instrumental version of "Rising," and this was kind of like an instrumental or just no singing, which I think is instrumental version of "Armed and Ready." I just really like that.
Yeah, I really want to see the soundtrack for this. I was really excited.
Yeah, me too. I own some of the. I think I own the soundtracks for like 1 to 4, and I'll definitely. I didn't like 5 was I liked, but didn't really want to pick it up. I'll definitely get 6 when that comes out.
No, that's fair.
Yeah,
and I mean like.
No,
sorry, say it again.
I don't know. I just want to get back to Bumblebee. Like, I really think that like some people could say it as just their friendship. I think it's more of a romantic thing.
It seems like a combination of both in a way.
Yeah, I think it's like progressing from friendship to something romantic.
I'm hoping so. I mean, only problem with that is Sun. Like, what's he up to in all of this, and how's he going to react to it?
We'll see.
Yeah, I really want to see Sun and Neptune again. I really back. What? Neptune.
Yes, on Neptune they were in the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like after all the importance of Sun as of Volume 5, and the fact that we wanted to see Neptune come back for so long, it kind of felt weird that we just saw them at the beginning and that's it.
I think we're gonna see him like in another volume when they're in Vacuo.
And that's gonna be shortcoming, I'm betting. Something I'm beginning to notice with this, I have a feeling that they're like, not that this is gonna be a pattern, because if it does become a pattern, I'm not gonna be happy about that. But basically, something I'm starting to notice is what might happen is at the end of this volume, which is coming up in 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I do. This episode 11, and I think this volume's only going to have 13 episodes.
Yeah, so assuming that that is the case, then I think that by that finale, just like it was for volume, they will have just arrived in Atlas, and then maybe like we'll get an end scene with Ironwood or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's going to likely happen, something like that. That makes sense. Volume 6 should be the journey to Atlas, and Volume 7 should be in Atlas.
I don't know, just like because then it's gonna feel like that's gonna become the end until they get the last relic and everything like that.
Who knows? Maybe it could be volume. Well, I think it's because the journey of Argus took a lot that they need to have some break. It's not like they can like because remember, as soon as they deal with the mech and Adam, they're gonna probably have to deal with like Cinder and Neo, or Tyrion and Watt or something. I think they would have to do that. They would be it'd be better to do that in another volume than have it all in
True.
the end of volume because there are only 2 more episodes. There's so many things that would have to be happening. Those episodes would be so long. Like I'm guessing each episode would have to be like half an hour or so to even try to fit those in.
Yeah, I guess you're right to that regard. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. It just I don't know. I guess like that's just me like not pattern. And something I'm actually really worried about for Volume 6 is specifically what Tyrion was talking about. Because if you guys remember what Tyrion was talking about, he said if we don't act quickly, all might be lost for us.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is this like kind of a showing that like this is the first time that we've seen at least where Salem is at a weakness, where if they act fast enough, they have a potential of beating Salem.
Yeah.
And like I'm afraid like this might be signaling the end of RWBY because of the fact that if they do beat them in Volume 7, I'm assuming at this point, then that might be the end. I'm really hoping the case.
I don't think it's going to end in volume 7. I think there's more of a story to be told that's not going to have one more volume. I think it could be many more. There's too much to. I think there's so many directions it can go. But anyway, I want to kind of instead of talking about volume 7, I want to keep talking about volume 6.
That's fair. That's
I want
fair.
to talk about going to the beginning of everything, the mech fight. First of all,
Yeah, it's we've been talking so much about.
yeah, we were talking
Adam.
about. I think we're talking about the ending because you were talking about that. I want to talk about the mech fight. That was a great fight against the mech. And the thing about the
Yeah,
mech is Cordova is just as I think we said before, just insane. She's using a mech that's meant for like really big grim on just a handful of people. I think I see a flaw.
I mean, like at the end of the day, she's kind of trying to be all like, "Oh, you guys have forgotten the might of Atlas, and
Yeah.
this is your reminder."
Yeah. Something else I thought interesting during the mech fight, it cut to a little bit like some shock, like when there's some impacts, it cut to I think the people of Argus and just them listening to this. I think they're gonna be scared, and I think that may cause some grim.
Ooh, you're right about. Oh, okay. If
Yeah,
that is what happens, that's going to be really interesting. I actually am willing to bet that they're probably gonna like this might be like a volume 2 thing where as soon as this fight ends, they're gonna get swarmed by a bunch of Grim, and then the last episode's gonna be like them fighting that off. Now, actually,
because like yeah, if you think about it, older people saw was this gigantic mech getting out of the base and going after I think maybe like a ship. I think that's all they see is like going after a ship, going to a cliff, and then all they hear is the fighting and then the just sounds of the mech. That could get
yeah,
cause some panic.
yeah, like say for all they know, it could be another fallen beacon.
Yeah, it could definitely cause some panic. Like shit, is it gonna happen to us? Are we under
Exactly.
attack? What's going on?
Yeah, that's 100% gonna cause some panic, and right
Yeah.
that it is gonna
And since the mech,
potentially
and
cause
then
some Grim.
since the mech is fighting everyone else, if if the grim appears, what are they gonna do? There's no mech to fight against.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cordova. I think Cordova highly underestimated them, and the moment that Team RWBY slash team what's left of Team Junior, um, once they take down the mech, Cordova is gonna shut down completely. I think because she would have just lost Atlas their mech to defend the place from the Grim, and on top of that, she would have lost to someone who she thought as inferior.
Yeah, there's
So
like
that's gonna be
yeah, that could happen. That's something I want to say about the mech fight. Kind of reminded me of the mech fight in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. The at scene where they're trying to trip the legs to bring it down. And Weiss tries to do that with her
Yeah,
sword.
I think honestly, it's good that it didn't end that easily. I don't know if I probably should mention this part of it, but if you guys remember, that scene was also referenced in Captain America: Civil War. That strategy brought Ant-Man down really easily. I'm really glad they didn't do that with this fight. I'm glad that it didn't end just with them knocking it down and that being the end of it,
Yeah.
or them taking out the generator and that being the end of it.
I see a really big design flaw in this, though, where having just the shields under a panel saying shield generator, authorized personnel only, don't touch, or whatever.
I mean, then again, why did the Empire make the same weakness?
Good point. But it's like the Mexico design is just kind of dumb to have the shields just in the back behind just one panel, and not having the shields protect the shield generator.
Yeah, make it easy enough for someone to.
Let's make a mech. No, yeah, let's make it have shields. No, let's not have the shields go around the thing that's causing the shields to be made. No, I don't think that's a design flaw. No, I don't think that can fail at all. What do you mean I'm fired?
No, but like you're right in every regard to that, but at the same time, the mech isn't going down anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, its shields are gone, but it's still standing long and strong.
Yeah. As well as Adam, I think next episode they're gonna definitely fall or be defeated or something. I think one of the fights definitely has to end by the next episode.
Yeah, in all honesty, I'm willing to bet it's going to be
Which fight? Which fight?
the fight against Cordopan, the mech fight.
Cordovan. I think we established this with Gold Star, but it's Cordovan, not Cordopan.
Just those two idiot guards pronounced it Cordopan.
No, they didn't. We misunderstood.
Oh.
Last episode I said this with a Gold Star that we have been pronouncing it as Cordopan because when I told you about this, how to pronounce it, there were no subtitles, so I heard it as Cordopan, and we were going at it like that. But the subtitles actually say Cordovan, not Cordopan.
I don't know, in all honesty, how reliable these subs are, especially because of the fact I guess this might be just a TV thing, but if you guys are a Power Ranger fan like I am, it mispronounced most of the names of the characters on the show. So I stopped trusting subtitles after that.
Because those are TV subtitles, and they have a delay. These subtitles are actually just like the script of subtitles, so they're actually accurate.
I guess you got me there then.
Yeah. It's like when I upload a video on YouTube, we want to add subtitles? Sure, add a script. Nope, I don't script this. I can't do that. That'll take too long. Anyway. So yeah, the mech fight, that was a really good fight. Very interesting how they decided to get. And Crow finally using his bird form in the actual fight that we see.
Well, I mean, he used it in episode 1, though. But
yeah,
I mean, like,
kind of used it.
Yeah, because like, it's good to see it again.
But he used like a scythe more.
Yeah. On top of that, this is actually the first time we've seen him use the scythe like consistently. Like last time, like the first and only time until Volume 6 that we saw him use the scythe was when he protected Ironwood in Volume 3.
Yeah.
He's never used the scythe since.
I think he used a little bit in Volume 5. I think he had to use a little bit in it.
No, he used a sword most of the time in Volume 5.
You could be wrong, you could be right, but I think he used it probably at some point. He used the scythe a little bit.
All right, well, if I am wrong about that, let me know in the comments down.
Yeah.
Because of the fact, like, he definitely didn't use it against Tyrion. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, because that kind of... I think that had to be a sword fight. There's no way he would use a scythe there.
I see it. I mean, RWBY used the scythe against him.
Well, RWBY only has a scythe.
I mean, it's also a gun, so...
Yeah.
Were you setting me up for that? Is that what that was?
Maybe.
Yeah,
the mech fight, great. Everyone did something useful. I don't know why they didn't start with Maria shooting, because the ship had missiles. Why didn't they try using the ship to take down? I understand they want to keep the ship, make sure it doesn't get blown up, but
at the same time, that mech deflected that so easily.
Yeah, good point. It caught it and threw it back, and then we don't know what happened to the ship because it then cut to the Adam and Blake fight.
Yes, for all we know, they could have failed in their mission. It could have got knocked to
Speaking of the Adam and Blake fight, I want to talk about that now because I think we talked about the
back,
mech long enough.
back to the fight where you started this with.
Yeah, and we talked about the Bumblebee part of the fight,
Yeah.
but I want to talk about before the fight where it's after they fall off the communication tower and they begin fighting. Blake just tries to run away.
Again.
Again, I thought that was a good fight just between Adam and Blake. But just being how their fighting style is just kind of similar, I think.
I mean, like they did train. I guess like I would assume they trained. That's why they're fighting so
They
similar.
trained they trained at the same age, like with each other, so they know how to fight.
Basically. On top of that, I'm gonna be really for another thing. Adam's training is possibly better than I thought it was, because of the fact that he was able to fight Blake without being able to see, but we don't know that for sure. Do we know that he was able to see through the blindfold?
It's a blindfold. I don't think he was able to see. It's revealed in fight after Blake gets knocked to the ground. Adam takes his blindfold off, and we see that he has blue eyes. But one of the eyes has been burned by the SDC, Schnee Dust Company. But
Well, we're assuming that.
We're assuming that Jellal and a Gold Star thought that it was a bunch of numbers, but I convinced them it's SDC as it clearly says.
Well, you haven't convinced me yet, and Gold Star unfortunately is facing an issue, so he can't join us to talk about that.
He's got a lot to say about this episode. But anyway, here's a fact. If you have one eye, that means when you put a blindfold off, you still can't see with the blindfold on. You have a mask, you can see. But if you have blindfold, you can't see. How do you see?
That's why I'm saying it makes him so threatening. The fact that if he couldn't see when he fight.
He couldn't see. He didn't.
Because don't forget, fighting blind and fighting that well blind is impressive.
Yeah.
So now that he can see, this is going to be even worse for them.
Yeah. And then Maria couldn't even fight that well. She lost her eyes. Having new eyes.
Yeah. I'm really happy about that whole kind of showing because especially because of the fact that now we finally get an actual showing that Yang is getting better, kind of.
Or is this going to bring closure to her finally?
Not necessarily bring closure, I'd say, but in a way, it's this is us seeing Yang improve. Whatchamacallit. When she fought Adam last time, he took her out with one hit. This time, she's more or less on even ground, I'd say.
So you would say she's armed and ready?
I would. I would say she's armed and ready for this one.
Yeah, that was a great. Both fights were great.
Yeah, I honestly just want to see the next fight in the next episode. I could do with pause the Cordovan. In all honesty, I don't. Yeah,
you think you want to go with the Adam fight first and then Cordovan?
Exactly.
Yeah, I really liked how at the end Blake says that Yang's not protecting her, and Blake's not protecting Yang, but they're protecting each other. I think that would ultimately, since they're working together to fight Adam, that will bring Adam down.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of touching in the sense that if you guys a few episodes back,
if we remember what,
do you remember when Yang and Blake were trying to get the whatchamacallit, the cart that they attached to go to Argus?
Yeah.
And Blake promised to protect Yang, and Yang got mad at that.
Yep.
Basically, this is kind of a showing that they don't need to they don't need to protect they don't necessarily need to protect each other, but it's good to know that they'll always have each other's back, kind of.
Yeah.
So I found that touching. I like that.
Yeah. It was a really good episode.
Yeah, just all around, it was a good episode.
Except here's the one complaint I have.
All right.
The title.
Yeah, we didn't really get what that had to do the episode in the slightest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's actually it. We didn't I thought maybe the lady in the referred to Blake's past, kind of talking about how she was created along with.
I thought it would refer to the mech or something. But no, what does that mean? The lady in the shoe.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that okay. All right. I think I might understand it. I just might.
What?
Do you remember the insult Nora said to Cordovan when she talked about the base?
And your base is sort of like a big boot or something like that.
Yeah.
It looks like Italy.
Well, yeah, it's very funny. No, but like it looks like a boot, and the mech came from the boot. So the lady being Cordovan in the bot, which came from the boot, which is a shoe.
There could be so many better titles for an episode
There
than this.
could be, but
Than the lady in the shoe.
I mean, like on the other side, just like if that is, um,
If that is the case, then
you know, if that is why they're calling it the lady in the shoe because of what I just said, then no, because of the fact that wasn't even the most. I mean, would you say they spent more time on that or more time on the Atom fight, or
I would
neither?
say equal time. The show's like the episode's like 15 minutes. I think they like 8 minutes on the mech fight and then like 7 minutes on the Atom fight.
Hmm. I don't know if I'd like. I don't know. It felt shorter to me, in all honesty. It felt short. But I mean, then again, it just is a sign that I had a really good time with this episode, just like I do with other. There are a lot of shows I like, and if it could do something he does, good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I definitely just seeing how we have 2 episodes remaining. I don't think we're going to see maybe I don't think we're going to see Cinder and Neo until volume 7.
yeah. I actually don't think we're gonna see like any of the Salem faction anytime soon.
Yeah, I feel like they're going to be in Atlas.
I don't know about. I mean, we don't know really what the mode of transportation for the besides the Atlas ship or the Haven ship. They
Well, I'm guessing Neo and Sinners could probably like not walk, but take some sort of transportation. Adam, he was just stalking, so he was just walking. He just followed, and then Tyrion Watts, they're gonna just probably take like an airship or whatever, or a portal or wherever the Salem dimension thingy is.
yeah, the dimension of the Dark Brother. That's where
Yeah.
she is now. We know. So that's going to be interesting then.
You have anything more to say about this episode or anything like that in general?
I mean, besides how much Rooster Teeth killed it with,
Killed it with what?
like, they killed it say, like with the fight, the animation for the fight, and just the fight itself was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this episode was really good. Rooster Teeth, you guys nailed it with the. I say that too often, but this was the episodes are getting better each time. I'd say,
Yeah.
like they've come a long way from how they were in Volume 1.
Yeah, especially like I felt volume 1 fights were really good. Then volume 2 up that volume 3 definitely volume 4 we didn't see that much fights actually. I think it was mainly just Ranger and Blake and then Crow. So we saw some fights and they were good. Volume 5 mostly as I think a bunch of people said just standing around talking. We had some fights toward the end but not that much. And I really like how volume 6 has fights but actually progresses story in a way that I really like. It's been really good. I've been really enjoying this volume. I think this is volume 3 is my favorite of volumes. This with volume 3, volume 6, and volume 3, I think are my favorite volumes, depending on how it ends.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this one. This one might be Volume 5 has a special place in my heart, mainly because it made me cry when it ended. So that in my mind, that just makes it good that it could do that to me.
Yeah, volume 5 made you cry at the end.
Yeah, just like playing All That Matters made me really touched me, and also because of the fact, I've wanted to see Team RWBY get back together along, and kind of like if you track everything that's happened to them, all the pain, all the torment that's been until that point, and then finally everything settles and they get that chance to hug it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that about that. I loved that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, we got to see Adam get taken down a few hundred pegs.
Yeah, I thought that Adam thing was like this is Adam done right. I think.
Seeing Adam taken down 100 pegs.
No, like I felt in volume 5 that Adam just got like he got one hit and that was it. He didn't. He just left after that. But actually seeing him in a fight.
I mean, I wanted more from Adam, especially because of the fact he would take down in my mind, two of the strongest fighters on Team RWBY,
Yeah,
Yang
but that's
and
what I'm saying. He got taken down so easily in Volume 5 that it was. I'm glad we're finally seeing him actually be a threat, an actual challenge in Volume
Yeah,
6.
you're right. It is good to see that.
Yeah. So, have anything else to say, or I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah, I think that's just about everything we can say for this.
Yeah. So overall, this was a great episode. The fights were really amazing, and we definitely think Bumblebee could actually happen because of this episode and everything that's been leading up
Potentially, yep.
potentially. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like this thing, like this video, subscribe. You can follow us at Twitter at Relic Knowledge as well as on Ruby Amino. And
Also share this with your friends
yeah, share this with
everywhere.
your friends. This has been Knight and Jellal. Finally, getting I pronounced that right.
Yep, Jellal.
Jellal. Knight and Jellal.
Jellal.
Signing
Let's say
off.
like J and then lol. That's how you
Yeah,
say it.
Jellal. Anyway, signing off.
Yep,
Good.
signing off. Later days, guys.
Goodbye.